The most challenging and the most important topic in hydroponic production, greenhouse, high tunnel, whatever you are using hydroponic production, like the grow rack that we showed you and you will be using, is fertilization. Okay? Whether microgreens or lettuce, we like to work anything between 100 to 150 parts per million. Okay, first let me show you about the different products that are available. This is a general purpose fertilizer. It's a greenhouse grade. Okay, 20-20-20. That means it's 20% N, 20% P, 20% K. So 1 gram of product is 20% nitrogen. All the calculations that you are doing are based on N, not on the product amount. So when I say 100 parts per million, I mean 100 parts per million N, not 100 parts per million product. So I'll show you the calculation. This is a general purpose. Maybe it's a little bit overkill because you don't need too much phosphorus. This is one of the products available online. It doesn't mean it's the only product or doesn't mean it's the best product, but you see it's 8, 15, 36. Enough nitrogen for the leaves, plenty of phosphorus, enough phosphorus but not too much for the roots, and plenty of phosphorus, potassium, the third number, potassium, for the overall quality of the plant. I like you to learn NPK this way: leaves, roots, fruits. Or in another way, you can think of NPK as up, down, all around. Up meaning the leaves, down meaning the roots, and all around overall plant health, fruit quality, all of that. So you see, you don't need a lot of nitrogen, you don't need a lot of phosphorus, but you need definitely good amount of potassium, more than the 20-20-20. Okay, this will work. This will work too. You can even have your own custom-made recipe if you buy the individual ingredients. This is a great article by Dr. Neil Matson and Carl Peters from Cornell. We'll show you the link on how to read it. It shows you everything you want to know if you would want to become an expert at hydroponic fertilization, with calculations, with step-by-step, with various formulation, especially if you are using individual elements. Because you can buy N, you can buy phosphorus, you can buy K, you can buy calcium, and then add them in their individual amounts to get your recipe that you want from here. Great article. So this is how the Peters fertilizer looks like. Okay, it's very water soluble. So you add a little bit, and that's what you want. You want something that's very water soluble. Okay, calcium nitrate is also water soluble, but they are grains. Okay, so it may take a little longer for them to dissolve, so but they will dissolve. Okay, so just give it a few minutes, all this will become ready. So if you are using a granular product like that, make sure you give it enough time to dissolve completely before you use it. So let's go back to the calculation and briefly show you what I mean by 100, 150 parts per million. This is a formula you must remember. 1 parts per million is equal to 1 milligram per liter. Okay? So if I want 100 parts per million, that's 100 milligram per liter. Our stock tank that we are using is 12 gallon, so that's 45.42 liters. So if I want 100 parts per million, I want 100 times 45.42 milligrams. You do all the math. I need 4.54 grams of N for that stock tank that's 12 gallon. So that's N not this, not 4.5 grams of this, not 4.5 grams of that. This is 4.5 grams of N. So if I want to use this purist fertilizer, which is 20-20-20, that's 20% N. That means that 1 gram of the product is 20% or 0.2 grams of N. If I want 4.5 grams of N, you divide that by 20%. I want 22.7 grams of product to get the 100 parts per million. We will have this sheet included in the list of videos as a file that you can print. But remember the math, and if you start from here, you can figure out all the rest. Just remember, when we are doing fertilizer calculations, we talk about N, not 100 parts per million of the product. Okay, so we want 22.7 grams to get 100 parts per million. You see, this has been sitting for what, 30 seconds. You give it more time, it will be completely dissolved. This one, see, it already halfway dissolved, if not all. You give it another couple of minutes, it will be completely dissolved. So hopefully you will go from one rack to a huge operation, bigger and better, and maybe you want to switch to something like this, NFT, where you can harvest lettuce in, I don't know, in about 3 weeks. In such a system, you need to upgrade to what I call playing with the major leagues. Not measure 22.7 grams. You need to switch to something more professional where you have a fertilizer injector. And then you must be using 2 tanks, because when you read that article by Dr. Madsen or other articles online, they always mention 2 stock tanks, stock A and tank B, or tank A, tank B, because some of the fertilizers cannot be in the same tank, otherwise they precipitate. You know, the calcium and the phosphorus cannot be mixed in the same tank. So some of the fertilizer are here and some of the fertilizer are here, and when you turn on the water pressure kicks in these dosatron injector. Dosatron is a brand name. And they suck the solution, they mix it, and you fertilize anything you want. So we have that fertilizer here. Anytime I want to fertilize these plants, I am using the fertilizer injector. And again, when you become professional and move up or upscale your operation, there are other equipment that you need. You need a pH meter, you need to adjust the EC, you need to adjust the pH. So products like this, pH up or pH down, are necessary to adjust the pH before you use it. The grow rack that I have here is what I call a hobby system. It's an intro to hydroponic. It's like the first step to get you practice, to get your experience growing. It will work. You can just mix it and use it without any problems. But if you upscale, then you really need to play with the major leagues and get all the right equipment.